Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at Hyderabad House in New Delhi on Tuesday. Prime Minister Modi and Philippines President held comprehensive discussions aimed at further cementing enduring friendship and strong bilateral relations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held delegation-level talks with President Marcos Jr. of the Philippines. The leaders discussed various aspects of boosting India-Philippines ties in a host of sectors. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with Philippines President, witnessed exchange of several MOUs in defence, digital technology, space, maritime cooperation, tourism and cultural exchange. Addressing the joint press meet with President Marcos Jr., Prime Minister Modi said that India and Philippines have elevated ties to strategic partnership. The President of the Philippines also acknowledged India's contribution to making the Indo-Pacific a free and open region. Prime Minister Modi and President Marcos Jr. of the Philippines jointly launched commemorative stamps. Philippines President Marcos Jr., who is on a 5-day visit to India, was earlier welcomed with a guard of honour and accorded a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan. The visiting President Marcos Jr. reaffirmed the alliance and the partnership the two nations share in strengthening the bond. The leader also said that the Indo-Pacific is the correct evolution of Asia-Pacific. President Marcos Jr. also paid his tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat by laying a wreath at his memorial on Tuesday morning. India's Ministry of External Affairs held a special briefing on the state visit of President of Philippines to India, sharing highlights of today's engagements with Prime Minister Modi. As part of its operational deployment to Southeast Asia, Indian naval ships INS Delhi, INS Shakti and INS Kiltan concluded a successful port call in Manila, Philippines. The Indian government strongly hit back at the US after Donald Trump threatened to substantially raise tariffs on goods from India over its purchase of Russian oil. The National Democratic Alliance Parliamentary Party meeting was held in New Delhi on Tuesday and was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with top NDA leaders. A resolution was passed unanimously by NDA MPs on the success of Operation Sindoor and Operation Mahadev. During the ongoing session of the Parliament of India, Lok Sabha or the lower house passed the readjustment of representation of scheduled tribes in assembly constituencies of the state of Goa Bill 2024 on Tuesday. Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house of the Parliament, on Tuesday adopted the resolution to extend President's rule in Manipur for 6 months with effect from 13th of August this year. Leader of the House, JP Nadda, said in Rajya Sabha that there are different methods of disturbance. He termed the ruckus not as disturbance but anarchy. A 3-day joint operation was launched by the Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police and the Border Security Force in Kashmir. During the search, a hideout was busted and arms and ammunition were recovered. 6 years ago, on the 5th of August in 2019, Government of India revoked Article 370, ending the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. 5 years ago, on the 5th of August, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone for the construction of Ram Temple at Ram Janmabhoomi in Ayodhya. In business, Indian equity indices showed mixed signals on Tuesday. At close, Nifty declined by 73 points to trade at 24,649 and Sensex closed at 80,710. Indian rupee depreciated 14 paise to 87.8 against the US dollar on Tuesday. Gold futures maturing on the 3rd of October were priced at 100,919 rupees per 10 grams on multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for the 5th of September maturity stood at 112,490 rupees per kilogram on the NCX. A recent SBI research report warned that US President Trump's proposed tariffs on India could harm the US economy more than India's. The research report released on Friday predicted higher US inflation, a weaker dollar and GDP decline, labeling the tariffs a bad business decision. Global crude oil prices traded higher on Monday. Brent crude was trading at $69.48 per barrel. Japan has signed a defense deal with Australia on Tuesday. Australia has agreed to sign a $6.5 billion frigate contract with Mitsubishi Heavy Industries of Japan. Saudi Aramco reported a 22% decline in net profit for the second quarter of 2025. Company registered a net income of $22 billion compared to $29 billion in the same period of 2025. Canada's merchandise trade deficit widened in June to $4.24 billion as imports grew faster than exports due to a one-time high-value oil equipment import. Russia accused the United States on Tuesday of exerting illegal trade pressure on India after US President Donald Trump threatened again to raise tariffs on India over its purchases of Russian oil. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Monday that he would convene his security cabinet this week to discuss how to instruct the military to meet his goals in Gaza. Dozens of trucks carrying aid bound for Gaza moved from Egypt on Tuesday. Israel, in response to a rising international uproar, announced last week steps to let more aid reach Gaza. UN officials say Gaza needs around 608 trucks to enter per day to meet the humanitarian requirements. The final round of United Nations talks on a global treaty on plastic pollution began in Geneva on Tuesday. Delegates from 180 countries kicked off discussions on the pact in hope for a last chance ambitious pact to curb plastic pollution half-trimmed. UN Environment Programme Chief stressed the urgency of reaching a meaningful deal, warning of the catastrophic impact of plastic pollution, especially on marine ecosystems. At least 2 people were killed and 9 others injured in an overnight strike by Russia on railway hub of Luzova in Kharkiv region. Officials said that 34 Shahed drones left parts of the region without power and water. President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the efforts of Ukraine's emergency services in response to Russian missile strike on Kyiv on Thursday last week. The death toll in the strike has risen to 14, and Zelensky noted that rescue operations continued. Finland's President Alexander Stubb held a phone call with US President Trump to discuss Russia-Ukraine conflict and supporting efforts for an immediate ceasefire on Monday. US Ambassador to NATO Matthew Whitaker said that he expects more nations to fund US arms for Ukraine following the Netherlands' announcement of €500 million to the scheme. The European Union will suspend 2 packages of planned countermeasures against the United States tariffs for 6 months following a deal with the US. The United States and Rwanda have agreed for the African country to accept up to 250 migrants deported from the US as President Donald Trump's administration takes a hardline approach towards immigration. A fire beneath a commuter train at Newport Station in Jersey City disrupted rush hour service along several lines in New Jersey on Tuesday. In Chile, family members and friends of the miners who lost their lives in the recent El Teniente mine collapse gathered to bid farewell to the victims. Chilean President Gabriel Boric vowed justice for the miners. He said that rescue work had been completed and now focusing on the cause of incident. Authorities in Mexico have reported the discovery of human remains belonging to 32 individuals in an abandoned residence located in Irapuato on Tuesday. A former assistant to far-right Alternative for Germany politician Maximilian Krah faces trial in a German court on Tuesday over alleged China espionage. The German national is suspected of having worked for a Chinese intelligence service since 2002. Preparations are underway in Japan to commemorate 80th anniversary of the atomic bombing in Hiroshima. The ceremony is scheduled at Hiroshima's Peace Memorial Park. The USS Gerald Ford, which is the world's largest aircraft carrier, has docked in the port of Mersey for a 5-day stopover. Crews embarked personnel from ship will participate in tours of Marseille, Paris and Monaco. The Russian and Chinese navies carried out joint search and rescue exercises titled Maritime Interaction 2025 on Tuesday. The two navies have conducted artillery and anti-submarine maneuvers. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to DD India, where a billion voices unite, connecting viewers to the stories that matter. India is not just another news channel. It's the international channel that puts the spotlight on the global south, bringing you stories from the heart of emerging economies, dynamic cultures and transformative voices. As the international news channel of India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati, DD India delivers high-quality content from every corner of the globe, focusing on the stories that shape our future. We don't just report news. We connect you to India's voice in the global narrative. From current affairs to culture, from economic growth to sustainable development, and the ever-evolving world order, DD India gives you a comprehensive view of the world around us. Stay connected, stay informed, and embrace the stories that shape our lives. DD India, India's voice to the world.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue. A massive cloudburst struck Tharali district of North Indian state of Uttarakhand on Tuesday, prompting flooding of Kheer Ganga river. Chief Minister of the state Pushkar Singh Dhami expressed condolences on the loss of life and property. Home Minister Amit Shah spoke to Uttarakhand Chief Minister and assured centre's help in rescue operation. Heavy rainfall continues in Himachal Pradesh on Tuesday. Several districts on high alert as rivers and streams across the state swell dangerously. Flash floods and landslides have disrupted normal life, particularly in Chamba, Kullu, Mandi and Sirmaur. Residents have been urged to exercise extreme caution. In Himachal Pradesh, Met Department has predicted more intense rainfall over the next 48 hours, warning of possible cloudburst in hilly terrains. Disaster management teams and local administrations are on standby, ready to evacuate residents from vulnerable zones if needed. Amid widespread flooding in several parts of Uttar Pradesh, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath provided relief to over 170,000 people affected by floods. District magistrates are closely monitoring the flood-affected areas. 14 teams of NDRF, 15 of SDRF and 48 of PAC have been deployed for preparedness. Chinese authorities evacuated over 82,000 people across Beijing at risk from heavy rainfall. Authorities warned of flooding risk. The Municipal Weather Service announced a red alert as floods in Beijing's northern suburbs killed at least 44 people. Torrential storms swept through parts of Kosovo on Monday, flooding roads and leaving vehicles stranded in several regions. Torrential storms damaged the electricity network, leaving a large number of people without electricity, especially in the Anamarava region. 17 heat records were broken in Japan on Monday after the country sweltered through its hottest ever June and July. A huge wildfire endangered numerous residences in central California after harming at least 3 individuals as it ripped through Los Padres National Forest. The wildfire originated from at least 4 smaller fires that ignited on Friday between Santa Maria and Bakersfield. The fire threatened approximately 450 structures in Santa Maria. More than 1,000 firefighters were battling the blaze from the ground and air in California, where the service warned that Southern California will face elevated fire danger in the coming week. A tornado hit near a geopark in China's Inner Mongolia region on Monday, sending debris flying near the long funnel cloud. No casualties were reported. Blackened skies unleashed torrential rains on Hong Kong and the high-tech city surrounding South China's Pearl River Delta on Tuesday. Hong Kong authorities issues highest warning black rainstorm on Tuesday as 3.5 inches of rain per hour continued to drench the city. A rare corpse flower has bloomed in Warsaw Botanical Garden. The flower gives off foul smell and blooms only once every few years, fascinating a huge crowd. A traditional Japanese archery event took place in Nikko, north of Tokyo, to honor a legendary archer and feudal warrior. More than 1,800 archers took part in the annual event. Iraqis turned to solar panels for roofs and farmlands as part of efforts to reduce electricity bills and opting for clean energy. One lake basin in Turkey once again became a lively stopover for flamingos, turning the region into a visual feast, especially at sunset. Hazelnut harvest has begun in the coastal regions of Ordu province of Turkey. Known as the green gold of the Black Sea, hazelnuts are a vital part of the local economy. Malaysian Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh launched the English dub of highest grossing film of the year, Nisa 2. Singer Jessie James Decker is all set to make her acting debut with The Christmas Ring, film set to release in theatricals on the 6th of November. Internationally famed Grammy Award winner Ricky Cage released spiritual song Via One to mark his 44th birthday on Tuesday. Mahavatar Narsimha became India's first animated film to cross 100 crore mark, surpassing Hollywood blockbusters like Spider-Man and Kung Fu Panda. Hollywood director Spike Lee and actor Denzel Washington reunited after 20 years for the film Highest to Lowest, trailer of a crime thriller movie released on Monday. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami unveiled poster of a new movie featuring Bollywood actor Hemant Pandey in the lead role. Malayalam actor Shanavas, son of legendary star Prem Nazir, passed away at the age of 71. He was suffering from kidney-related ailments. After a successful theatrical run, the romantic drama is now set for its OTT release. Oho Enthan Baby is now set for its release, and the film will be available on Netflix from the 8th of August. Pop sensation Lady Gaga will launch a brand new song titled Dead Dance in the upcoming Netflix series Wednesday Season 2. The sports entertainment reality show American Ninja Warrior has been renewed for Season 18 by the NBC. Olympic bronze medalist Aman Sehrawat and Antim Pangal headline Indian squad for the World Wrestling Championship in Croatia in September. Hockey India named the 24-member men's team for the 4-match tour of Australia from the 15th till the 21st of August in Perth. US President Donald Trump has set up an Olympics task force to handle security and other issues related to the upcoming 2028 Olympic Games. The International Cricket Council has cleared Ireland spinner Amy Maguire to resume bowling in international cricket with immediate effect. Australian batter Tim David has been fined 10% of his match fee and one team merit point added to his disciplinary record for breaching ICC Code of Conduct. India's Grandmaster Divya Deshmukh faces Chinese Grandmaster Lei Ting-che in first round of the Women's Speed Chess Championship on the 11th of August. The 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the Cincinnati Open for the second consecutive year. Former Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina and teenager Victoria Boko have advanced to the semi-finals of Canada Open. Rybakina reached the semi-finals after her quarter-final opponent Marta Kostyuk retired in the second set with a wrist injury. Boko secured a surprising straight-set victory over Spain's Jessica Monero to reach her first WTA semi-final. In Canadian Open men's semi-final, Germany's Alexander Zverev will face Karen Khachanov. Zverev reached his 21st Masters semi-final by defeating the defending champion Alexei Popyrin in the quarter-final round. Karen Khachanov advanced to semi-finals for the third time following a victory against Alex Michelsen. Czech international Pavel has signed a 4-year deal with French club Lyon from Victoria Plassen for $8.6 million. And World Cup winner with West Germany in the year 1990, Frank Mill, passed away at the age of 67. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.